a lot of people have been going like, oh, I'm doing it safely. So is it actually possible to ever do steroids safely?
Um, the question presumably is based on if you're going to do like a cycle or push past what you can naturally produce. Because in a medical context, there's definitely
Yeah.
a ROI that is probably safer than the alternative of not doing it if you're
Yeah.
hypogonadal, low T, or even menopausal women. Like estrogen is a steroid too. If you don't do that, you could argue you're in heightened, cognitive decline territory, heart risk, etc. But for people who are like, I'm a high functioning, healthy, otherwise like dialed, high vitality guy, is there a way to push my test levels to 3,000 nanograms per deciliter and have it be completely risk free? No, it's impossible, unfortunately. Otherwise, I think a lot more people would be doing it for sure.
Yeah.
So at some degree, there is impossible to avoid neurotoxicity, which is not very often talked about. So literal cognitive decline that is accelerated through androgen exposure, cardiovascular risk, the laundry list of side effects that I'm assuming you guys who are watching are all pretty familiar with.
Mm.
It's impossible to avoid entirely to some magnitude though, because you could have people who smoke and live to 100 plus,
True.
so
Yeah.
there is a big, unfortunately, genetic predisposition factor here, whereby if you are in a highly, if you're highly resilient as an individual, you could argue it's essentially risk-free from a drug response standpoint because maybe you blasting tons of stuff still outlives a guy who does everything perfectly naturally. That's certainly possible. It's just
Mm.
unlikely that you're that guy.